Hey, Bears fans, welcome back into another episode of the latest. Today is June the 12th, which means this is dropping on Friday the 13th. Hope you're not superstitious. Here's what's going on with our Bears. DJ Moore listed his house for sale. That's a red flag. And I know a lot of other people out on the social media landscape, beat writers and folks like that, they are seeing red flags right now. A lot of people thought that, because of the fact that, DJ Moore has been getting his ass rode by Ben Johnson in mandatory camps and is basically been called out for attitude, for body language, the way that he is playing on the field. He basically called him out for a lot of the way that he played in 2024 and how he, sloughed off on plays and didn't give it his all, or he was inconsistent, coughing up a fumble. If we all remember the Green Bay game, well, that was sickening. I'm glad we won. But he's being held accountable, and it sounds like he's kind of being whiny about it. Um, I hope not, because I would love to see him and Luther Burden, and obviously Roma Dunze, Olamide Zacchaeus. I'd love to see those guys out there with the tight ends, with the running back room. I would love to see us go out and have a high potent, high octane offense. Um, but here's the thing. If you're not going to do the little things, and we've already learned right now in camp that if you're not doing the little things, going up to the, breaking the huddle, lining up, snap count, all the little things leading into the play, if you're not even doing those, you're going to get called out and you're going to keep doing it until you get it. And I'm pretty darn sure that Ben Johnson isn't going to put up with any players that aren't going to get on board with that. If you can't, then you shouldn't be here. And I think that maybe there's a vibe right now that DJ Moore could be out the door. Doing a little bit more sleuthing, because we did talk about DJ not too long ago, and about how we had a viewer that talked about the $60 million cap hit. Well, I did a little bit more research, and now that we're past June the 1st, the Bears, if they were to trade or move DJ in any capacity, they can recoup 20 point, almost $20.5 million. Actually, it might even be closer to 21 million. Let me look at my notes here really quick. Almost 20.9 million they can recoup by trading or cutting him, which obviously we're not going to cut him. We've got to get something of value for him. But we do take a dead cap hit of nearly 4.5 million, and I believe that's spread out for the remainder of the contract. And while it's significant, it also opens up cap space to maybe extend other players that you want to keep in that Caleb quarterback window. Um, yeah, I think that that's very important. Maybe if you finally see that Jaquan Brisker is showing up this season, maybe you have funds then to go and extend him long term. Or maybe there's a player that is still not on this roster yet that we make a move for, but we use that capital to maybe sign this player to a long term extension. Kind of like, sorry guys, you can yell at me all you want. Trey Hendrickson, we've been talking about him a lot lately, or like a Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe we use the resources that way. But the problem is you got to find the right partner to make this happen. You can't just. There's no way you're going to be flipping a whiteout for a defensive lineman straight up. You're going to need to find the right team that wants that particular player, that whiteout, DJ Moore, and then being able to use whatever you get there, pair it with whatever you still need to pony up to get, player B. There's a lot of uncertainty there. But I'll tell you what, the way that people are talking right now in camp, Caleb and Rome have been on their game. and they've been showing significant progress. And maybe we're to the point now where Caleb is building really strong chemistry with Rome and vice versa, that maybe Rome is going to be our number one and DJ would be better suited as a number two. But that doesn't mean that he's a lesser of a player. I mean, you could even say 1A, 1B if you want to. They're both awesome wideouts, but both have to respect each other and have to coexist. And if you're getting the sense that in training camp next month and maybe even in the preseason games, if you're noticing that that's not happening, then maybe you sit down, have a come to Jesus with him and say, can we move past this? What do we need to do to move forward? What can we do to help you? And if that's not looking like it's going to work, then maybe you find him a new home. Maybe you get into the season and you're finding out what's working and what's not working, because some people have said Ben Johnson's offense, when it started in Detroit, that didn't start off all rainbows and butterflies and super productive, that it took a little bit of time. And so we may need to temper our expectations. But if there's no good chemistry, we don't see synergy, we don't see growth, maybe it is a time where you trade DJ while you've got really good value, and you gain that cap back, or maybe you get picks or get another player to come back that is a player of need. I mean, who knows? Um, you can liken it to when like TJ Hawkinson got traded from Detroit to Minnesota. I mean, that was a big trade. People lost their minds over that until, Detroit got a guy named, I don't know, Sam Laporta, and he's been pretty good. So, I think that right now I'm going 60-40. No, actually I'm going to go 65-35 just because I'm really good at math. Well, that's elementary math. But I'm not quite there at 70, but I'm not quite at 60. I'm about 65% sure DJ is going to remain on this roster. It's not even going to be an issue. They're going to get to camp. They're going to put in the work because it's time, it's required. And it's getting ready for the season. And if you want to play and you want to be the professional out there, then you'll do it. So I feel like we are going to be just fine. And once we get to camp, everybody's just going to go to work and it's going to be fine. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. You see DJ possibly going, or you think he's staying right here in Chicago? If you think he's going to get moved, who are some potential suitors? Throw that out there. But right now, he's still a Bear. So we're going to go to waiver wire targets. So every year we deal with this when we get into camp and when we come out the back end of camp, when it's time to trim down to your starting 53 or to your 53-man roster. And then as you're working towards practice squad and things like that, there's always going to be marquee names that end up on the waiver wire that get cut. It's because we have the draft every year. We have players coming in that are new, they're younger, they might be stronger at their position, or the team is going a different direction, and this player is not quite the fit like they used to be. And so we might be seeing some waiver wire targets come the end of July, definitely coming into August, September. And the Bears in the past have had a couple where they've made some moves like that. But there's a lot going on right now where they're talking about what players would possibly be available. And one name stuck out, especially if we have Luther Burden issues, that intrigued me was Traylon Burks, or Trey Burks, from the Titans. He's been trying to find his footing in the league, and he's had a difficult start to his career. He's only 25, which, I mean, which goes to show you that he's been in the league for a while. I believe he's on the last year of his deal. He just has not been the most consistent wideout since AJ Brown went to Philadelphia. He was supposed to fill those shoes. It just hasn't happened. But here's the thing. if you come to Chicago, let's say he is available and the Bears want to take a flyer on him, especially if Luther Burden is not ready yet and you want to use him and work his way up. And if you have a DJ Moore trade, I mean, think about it. If that happens, you're bringing in a guy that is not expected to be your Roma Dunze, uh, being your one or your two. Maybe you've got a guy that is, if Luther's not ready for the slot, maybe you put a guy like Trey Burks in there. So he could be a possibility. We talked Travis Etienne yesterday, and now it's looking more and more like the way that things are setting up in Jacksonville. He may just wind up being cut, meaning we wouldn't have to trade a day 3 pick for Etienne unless there are some serious suitors out there. I'm not so sure because the running back market, I mean, you're going to see some running backs get cut, and that's because we have that influx of running backs that came in this year's class. So it's going to happen. And ETN, even though he is, even though he's getting cut, he's still a productive back. He probably just doesn't work in that system anymore. But as we've seen with Ben Johnson, he's been able to make magic happen with running backs. Jamal Williams a few years ago had some sweet magic. Also, we had David Montgomery, our old Monty. He went up there and tore it up in Detroit, still is. They brought, a guy in like Jahmyr Gibbs that was like a complete unknown, or at least who they thought was going to be a later round pick, and he goes in the first round. He's a stud. So there could be something there that Ben and company, Eric Bieniemy especially, may see as potential right there. And so he may not cost a lot. It could be a 1-year flyer, 1-year prove it type of deal. And you've just upgraded the running back room if you need it. And you didn't have to go out, bust bust the bank or anything like that. So ETN is another possibility. Samson Abukum from the Colts. Okay. Right now, he is on thin ice right now because they have been bringing in younger talent on the edge. He is an edge rusher. He actually was with Dio Abdangbo in Indy last season. Has been productive. He is going to be 30 though. So he's not that 30 is a bad age because it's not. Players can play in their 30s. But he's coming off of an injury. He didn't have a 2024. But he was productive the year prior. So he's coming back with a lot to prove. This could be a great opportunity where if he's cut, he can get a 1-year prove it deal and get back out there, resurrect himself, and then try to get that final long-term deal after that. So, and as you know, we still are talking edge options on this team that we've got to figure that out. And then I also saw here DJ Wanham, which if you know DJ Wanham, linebacker, an edge player for the Panthers, who also played with Minnesota at one time. But see, they've got Princely Umanamalian. I'm just going to call him Princely. The guy, the edge rusher from Ole Miss, and Nick Scorton from Texas A&M. The Panthers ended up drafting both of those guys. And right there, that already knocks Wanham down. Wanham's only 27, so he's still capable. I believe he had 5.5 sacks last season. I think he had 9.5 the year before that. He's a productive player. And it looks like he stays pretty healthy. He fits that same big body type that Dennis Allen likes that we've been talking about. He could be a nice fit too if he's cut. And I think a lot of players, when they get cut, when the time does come, if there's any marquee players, I think some of them are going to be really looking at the Bears as an attractive destination to be a part of something special, because I think this team is primed and ready to move forward. So, what do you guys think of those picks? What do you think about Ebicon? What do you think about DJ Wanham? What do you think about Trey Burks? What do you think about Travis Etienne? Leave a comment below. Who would you look at there? If I didn't name a player, but there's one that sticks out to you that you're seeing on the horizon, throw that down there too. We always need more fuel for the fire here. So let's switch gears. We haven't talked Caleb Williams, like serious Caleb Williams. So I got to thinking. I was in the car, as you all know. I was coming back from Atlanta, from visiting family, and I was thinking in the car, like, who is the X factor on this team? Who is going to be the person that really makes or breaks this team? Who is the person that is going to drive the trajectory of the Bears in 2025? The only person that came to mind right away, and I mean right away, because then of course I him hawed a little bit. Caleb Williams. We are looking for our franchise quarterback to be the franchise quarterback this year. We want this guy to be a 4,000 plus yard passer. We want him to be able to throw for 30 plus touchdowns. Maybe have some INTs thrown in there too. We want to see the sack numbers down. We want to see a guy that is going to take complete control of this offense and run it and be like a Patrick Mahomes type of guy. And right now, he's looking like he is going to be that guy. No doubt about it in my mind. I think that he's done a great job in the preseason and or in preseason, excuse me, in camp and such. He even stayed by this week to practice with the rookies. He is all about building the relationships, building the connection, and he's holding himself accountable. He is working with Ben. He has been doing everything he needs to do to take that next step. And right now, he is my guy that is going to have to make those moves and be the X factor in 2025. I mean, you could also look at players like Roma Dunze. You could look at maybe, I don't know about on the defensive side of the ball. It could be, somebody on the edge or something like that. But I think the one that really resonates is Caleb. If you have an X factor that is not named Caleb Williams and you want to share, put a comment down below. I'd be curious to hear what you come up with. And then we're going to talk his partner too. Let's talk Roma Dunze. I think Roma Dunze takes the big step this year. And when I say a big step, I mean a leap. He is ready to go out and catch the friggin' ball. He is going to be all over the field. He was really coming on at the end of last season. Him and Caleb were really starting to gel, coalesce, really build something good there. It was becoming very apparent. I mean, the two wideouts that Caleb was really getting comfortable with were obviously Rome and then Keenan Allen, who is not here anymore. So somebody's going to become fill those shoes there. I think Rome takes a step forward. I think you're going to see a big season in receptions and in yards. I think he's going to have between 60 to 70 receptions. I think you're going to see about 1,200 yards. I think maybe 6 or 7 touchdowns. Could be more. I don't know. But I think this is your guy that is going to take the big leap forward. Now that doesn't mean that BJ isn't going to have a good season. Colston, Luther, any of the other guys, but basically you're talking. Basically, we'll just say Steve Young to Jerry Rice type of combination. Like that's what you're building. An Aikman to Michael Irvin, Elway to Rod Smith. Somebody like that. You want that connection where it's your franchise quarterback and your all around best wide receiver right there. And I think you're going to see that this year. He is going to take a step forward. What do you guys think? Comment below. What kind of season do you see from Rome? Or is there another player that you see a major breakout from? I don't know about breakout. I would say comeback, though. I would put Cole Kmet in there for a comeback because I think he's going to really come back into the fold and is really going to become a part of this offense again. I'm looking forward to that. But for breakout, it's Rome. If you think it's somebody different, comment below. Now, before we get out of here today, I owe all of you an apology. I went back and watched the video. I was at between rest stops today, and I went and watched the video, and there were major technical issues with the slides, and I am so sorry. Apparently, I had the biggest brain fart known to man. You can call me out on it. I don't care. It's all good. I didn't do well. I'm owning it. And I'm going to make sure from here on out that I double and triple check my work. So, but as always, I want to thank you guys. You guys are fantastic. Remember to subscribe. Remember to like. Share this with your friends. Let's build this thing up. I want to hear from you. Some of you have called me a fool. That's okay. I'm a Bears fan. I'm a Chicago fan. Of course, I'm a fool. But you know what? I'm a happy fool right now because we're going into training camp. We're ready to go in there and do some work and kick some ass and have a successful 2025. Guys, it's been great. I'm going to let y'all go. As always, bear down. See you next time.